All right, Dr. Parsons, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Let me try clicking this on for the fun of it. Dr. Parsons, can you hear me? We are having a problem with that. All right, let's see what else we need to do here. All the buttons are pushed in the right place. You should be hearing me. That's the theory anyway. We'll see if we can get a hold of Dr. Parsons and have him call in if we can. Because I'm not hearing you, Doctor, as much as I'd like to. Nope. Dr. Parsons, are you there? Let's see if we try this. Okay, so I'm working. I can see that my audio is going out, but I'm not getting Dr. Parsons in. Let's try it this way. Dr. Parsons, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Art. Can you hear me?
Now we've got you.
Yeah. Great.
All right,
I think it was on your end there.
Yeah, we kept pushing buttons till we found one that worked.
Got it.
Well, Doctor, it's the 25th anniversary of open heart surgery, the program at McLaren Bay. Let me ask, from the time you've gotten into medicine until now, how has heart surgery changed over the years?
First and foremost, I really want to, thank you for having the opportunity to be able to discuss such an exciting time and some incredible work that in care that's being delivered to our patients here at McLaren Bay. But to be more specific about your question, without a doubt, the science and medicine of cardiovascular health has changed significantly over time. As you're aware, and I'm not sure if the folks on the phone are aware, but our program here at McLaren Bay Region has been strong and becoming stronger for over 25 years now. And specifically, Dr. Chair Curry has performed over 10,000 open heart procedures now, which is an absolutely incredible number, and he's helped that many people and frankly even their families, etc., during some challenging medical related times. But with that, we've performed over 100,000 cardiac catheterizations as well within our heart program, which once again is an incredible amount of care being delivered. What we're finding is obviously, in medicine, there's new changes in technology. Some of the disease states of the heart that were once treated with open heart surgery are now treated in a less invasive type procedure with regards to, valves, etc. So, that's the transformation that we're seeing. I mean, the actual open heart bypass numbers are going down. The need isn't going down. It's just our technology is changing and improving on that aspect.
The friend of mine who recently retired as a cardiologist up there did a lot of those caths, Eric Sweterlich.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask, and I was going to phrase the question, do we need open heart surgery as much as we used to? But you've already really kind of answered that, because the advent of caths, particularly coming in through the wrist now instead of the leg, has really simplified heart treatment, hasn't it?
Without a doubt, it has added options, which is great, for the patient and all the things related, specifically, the amount of time healing, the different medications, maybe less, etc. So it's a very exciting time, to be in medicine with where we're going with some of the technology that we have, that we're becoming to have more available at our disposal.
Speaking of the technology, not just from a surgical standpoint, but from an implant standpoint, those implants have also reduced the need to some degree of surgery, haven't they?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And we have an incredible program here, structural heart program that, patients are being evaluated every day for those types of procedures.
So let's talk about the open heart procedure. What qualifies someone to be a candidate for open heart, and how is that determined?
Well, I mean, certainly it's relates to the degree of the disease on whether or not their condition is not amenable to, say, balloon angioplasty, and those vessels need to be bypassed. I'm not a cardiothoracic surgeon, so I don't want to get kind of too technical in it, but those are the main reasons. So when our interventional cardiologists deem a patient is maybe a candidate for open heart surgery, then Dr. Chair Curry is consulted, sees that patient promptly, and makes that determination.
So is it fair to say that most, and I know this is simplistic, but most of the open heart surgery is what we traditionally call bypass?
There's different procedures that are done, under the umbrella of open heart surgery, but I think most folks, when they hear that term, would probably, relate it to exactly what you said, bypass of the diseased vessels.
All right, Dr. Parsons, hang on. I've got to take a break, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the 25th anniversary of the open heart surgery program at McLaren Bay. More after these notes.
Saturday, April 13th at Soaring Eagle Casino, Grand Funk Railroad. Plus, special guest Foghat, the American Fan Tour. Tickets start at $39 and on sale now at the box office and etix.com.
I'm your captain.
Rock hard, classic rock harder.
She's some kind of wonderful.
With Michigan's own Grand Funk and Foghat. Saturday, April 13th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
This is the story of a very special woman. Just a few knew about her superpowers. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell says in his testimony to Congress that inflation has eased notably and rate cuts will likely be appropriate this year, but apparently not yet. Powell says the Fed needs greater confidence on inflation before cutting rates. Payroll processing company ADP says there were 140,000 new jobs created by private employers last month, slightly under the 150,000 forecast by economists. Chief economist Neela Richardson says job gains remain solid. Job gains were reported in construction, manufacturing, and leisure and hospitality, among others. Foot Locker lost money in its holiday quarter, but the loss was smaller than Wall Street predicted. Foot Locker's outlook is cautious, and the stock is down 12%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
Pure Talk believes in American values and that free should mean exactly that, free. Well, switch to Pure Talk today and you'll get a free Samsung 5G smartphone. Now, qualifying plans start at just $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, and, of course, mobile hotspot. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Pure Talk, claim your eligibility for your free brand new Samsung 5G smartphone. Start saving on wireless today. and switch to my cell phone company, Pure Talk.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSGW online poll, the Supreme Court ruling regarding former President Trump. The U.S. Supreme Court, in a unanimous ruling, barred states themselves from disqualifying candidates for federal office. The opinion from the court included the statement, "We conclude that states may disqualify persons holding or attempting to hold state office, but states have no power under the Constitution with respect to federal offices, especially the presidency." For her part, Justice Amy Coney Barrett wrote, "All 9 justices agree on the outcome of this case. That is the message Americans should take home." Poll question, do you accept or reject the U.S. Supreme Court ruling regarding former President Trump? We offer up answers this way. I accept it simply because it's the Supreme Court. I accept it only because it was a unanimous ruling. I reject it only because it involves former President Trump, or I reject it, the candidate doesn't matter. We want to know what you think. Head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and find the online poll box.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we are back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Dr. Kenneth Parsons, the Chief Medical Officer at McLaren Bay Region. So as you look over these 25 years, Dr. Parsons, at the open heart program at McLaren, what has that meant to the hospital?
Boy, really, it's just a testament to the care that we deliver to our community and those patients and families that are seeking the need that we have to offer. Really, it comes down to patient care and quality of that care that we're delivering. Certainly, all of these metrics and numbers and stuff are great, but just reflecting back on all the lives that have been touched over those years, by everybody from the time that the patient enters the hospital to the time that they're discharged and follow up is really where I think that, at least for me, is a very important thing to mention. I mean, yes, the surgeons performing the procedure, but all the items that have to come together in perfect harmony regarding the care of the patient. There's, numerous people involved from multiple different departments, and me personally, as the chief medical officer, I can't thank them enough for delivering that incredible care that they're doing every single day.
We think of open heart surgery, and obviously we think of the surgeon, but it is a multidisciplinary role, isn't it?
Absolutely. And not to get into too many details, but anesthesiology, the OR nurses, the ICU, the floor nurses after the patient, is improving and step down, from dietary to those folks in our sterile processing area that are making sure that the surgeon's instruments are absolutely perfect so he can perform at his top or her top level. I'm afraid if I'm missing anybody, but truly, when I said, all those that are involved in the care from entry into the hospital and beyond, grateful for each and every one of them.
Let me ask, open heart surgery, we're talking about 25-year history at McLaren. Does the public still have misconceptions about open heart surgery, what it can do, what it can't do?
I think for those, within that category that may be needing open heart, I mean, certainly heart disease still, is right at the top of our, leading, cause of death. And we, I think that's been out there, not only, within the local communities and the outreach programs that are being done, but certainly, you hear it on the news and frankly, radio stations like this. So, I feel that there is awareness out. That doesn't mean that, they may have, questions about it, especially, if they're faced with it. And, that's what our team is here to do is help not only answer those questions, but guide them through that process, to get them well. So
let me ask, for a long, long time, I think if you asked 100 people about open heart surgery, they think for the most part you're talking about men. I've lived through an incident. My wife passed a year and a half ago from a sudden heart attack. Women are just as susceptible, but don't have the same symptoms, do they?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. The symptoms can vary. They equally, it's not always the classic, holding your fist to your chest and pain going down your left arm. I mean, it can be an entire array of different type of symptomatology. Shortness of breath, weakness, teeth pain, believe it or not. Those are all definitely things that, if anyone is experiencing, signs and symptoms, they need to be evaluated by, their physician.
Just out of curiosity, for someone who is suffering with a heart disease and needs open heart surgery, what's the typical lead time? If they come to you today and they're suffering, how long before they're on the table?
Obviously, part of that whole workup includes, multiple diagnostic, testing. And, when ultimately, Dr. Chair Curry's consult and team, those patients are seen very promptly. And, the procedure is boarded from there. So, it's a very prompt and quick process in order to care for that patient in a timely manner to get them on the mend.
And, given the advance of stents today, what's the recurrence where someone has an artery close up again? And how much does that have to do with how well they follow dietary recommendations and exercise after the surgery?
Yeah, there's multiple factors that go into, stent reclosure. Not being a cardiologist, I may not know all of those, but, certainly, and, following the instructions of your physician, your cardiologist, is absolutely important. So, being compliant with medications, being compliant with, if they have an exercise or a cardiac rehab regimen, watching, your diet and avoiding those foods that could precipitate, such an event. So all extremely important, maintain what the procedure that was done.
I'm going to propose something to you and get your reaction. It has always befuddled me how we, as the people, can spend a fortune going to our doctors to get their opinion and then walk out and totally disregard it.
Yes, it's without a doubt, it's a challenge. I can't, speak for everybody. But, I mean, that advice, comes with a tremendous amount of experience and understanding of exactly what is needed to get them well. And, choosing not to do it could have detrimental consequences.
So to conclude this, I'm curious about you yourself, Dr. Parsons. What drew you to medicine?
You know what? I've always been fascinated with medicine. I'm a people person. I care immensely. I wanted to make a difference within healthcare. Those were the key factors. And I tell you, I'm a board certified emergency medicine by training and happen to have been part of McLaren healthcare system, and specifically McLaren Bay, for over 20 years. And it's been an incredible journey. I wouldn't trade it for anything. never woke up disappointed that I have to go to work. It's truly is a privilege and honor to be able to care for people.
Does being the CMO take you out of the ER at all?
It does. McLaren Bay, we have multiple service lines, so that the CMO is over patient safety and quality and working with the medical staff and utilization and multiple different things. That's a totally another conversation, but it has. But I can tell you that most of my time is not spent in my office. It's spent in the hospital, rounding from top to bottom multiple times a day, talking to patients, talking to staff, breaking down any potential barriers that anyone's having. So it is a I enjoy it very, very much.
Most of the physicians I've known in my life that have moved on to administrative positions to a person will tell you that they miss the interaction with the patient.
That, without a doubt, would be probably top on the list. But what the great thing is I still have that opportunity to speak to patients within their, in the hospital, and they're recovering, and learn about their experience and the things that we're doing great and those that we can do better on. So I still get that opportunity, which is excellent.
So last question. As you look at 25 years of open heart surgery and look at the next 25 years, how is it going to change, do you think?
Without a doubt, our program here at McLaren Bay Region is a sustainable one. Without a crystal ball and knowing what the next latest and greatest technology is. But truthfully, I always feel that open heart surgery, is still going to be there. Despite our numbers declining, there are going to be patient subsets that will require that. So it's really exciting to with the technology that's coming forward and where we're going, and we're prepared and positioned to continue on the successful path that we've been on for our patients.
Well, Dr. Parsons, I want to thank you for spending a little time with us this morning, and we appreciate the information on open heart surgery, and congratulations on 25 years.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a great day. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Kenneth Parsons, the Chief Medical Officer at McLaren Bay Region. We thank him for being with us this morning. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour, 989-752-6111.
Springtime is growing time. The time to dust off winter. Move forward with those remodeling plans. New outdoor furniture,